This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning. But we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 28th of March 2019, and I am 2J.
I am 2M.
And I am Miss K, your host. Again, in case you missed it, this is Winning Headlines. Let's take a look at today's headlines. The Star, how governors, MCs, MCAs are amassing riches. Daily Nation, illegal pay shock for civil servants. And The Standard, 140 allowances for civil servants to go.
Lots of money matters.
Money matters, money matters, money matters. Civil servants, MCAs.
Can we combine these two?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. The Standard and the Daily Nation.
Yeah.
Civil servants allowances.
And finally, guys, I think the state is listening to itself, right? You cannot run a country on 1.4 trillion shillings on revenue, and you're paying your workforce 700 billion.
I think what you're referring to is a statistic we saw in the newspapers.
Yeah, you're
that 5 out of every 10 shillings that KRA receives goes to salaries.
How are you financing your country? How do you want to grow your country on 53% of recurrent expenditure?
I don't think that this headline is speaking to the salaries, it's speaking to the allowances that they get.
It's a
because
wage
I don't
bill at the end of the day.
think that the salaries that civil servants get really break the bank. They're not as high as you think. But their allowances can be quite hefty, but that doesn't mean that they're illegal.
Yeah, I think that headline is misleading, that they are illegal.
Yes.
Yeah. I think maybe they're just a bit excessive, if we can say that.
I don't think they're excessive, and I want to honestly say this. I think that as a country, we have been conditioned to just keep going on fishing expeditions. For the past 2 weeks, we've been seeing corruption. Now you're telling me KRA is, for every 10 shillings they collect, 5 shillings of it goes to the wage bill. We've still not stemmed the 5 shillings that apparently we're losing to corruption. And here we are attacking civil servants for the little that they do earn. What more do you want?
And I think it's fair to question that, Ms. K, because if you look at the allowances they do want to question, and they're only being reviewed, they haven't even been revoked yet. It is housing allowance, hardship allowance, leave allowance, and sustenance. I think those are fair.
Let me tell you, if I was a state, I would go further and I would privatize some departments of government. All right? The reason people are stealing in this country, and I will say it, it is not a moral issue. It is a human nature issue. People are stealing in these countries because there is a conveyor belt called government. And that conveyor belt is designed to be extractionist in nature. It is to consume. If you want to build wealth as a state, don't make the state big.
Are we question your assumption? Okay, first 2J, say your point before I go for Kevin's
No, I feel like I'm not saying that your point is bad. I just think that it's irrelevant to the topic at hand.
No, it's super relevant. It is super relevant.
You want to privatize the civil service.
The reason why 149 types of allowances are being reviewed is because someone has realized, and I don't want to blame the state on this because we are given a constitution, they were given an invoice in 2010. The reason they want to review these allowances is simple. It is becoming untenable.
Here's the thing I want to say. Here's the thing I want to say, because you've contradicted yourself. On one hand, you're saying that it is becoming...
I never contradict myself.
I think that history proves, and all the previous episodes that we can watch prove that sometimes you do contradict yourself. Now, let me say what you've just said. On one hand, you're saying that the state has this huge wage bill that is not to blame. It's not to blame for that huge wage bill. We're given this wage bill. It has realized that it's too much. It has to downsize. It started somewhere. Well and good. On the other hand, you're saying that theft is not a moral issue. It is a human nature issue. We are predisposed and hardwired to steal just because I'm occupying government office and I just so happen to be the person in charge of this money. I am predisposed to steal this money and not to apply it for its higher good. Those are two different things.
You're talking like an idealist.
Pick one.
Listen, no, I'm not picking anything because I know very well I did not contradict myself.
But you said those two things.
Let me explain it in a very simple way. Government is in its ideals. It is designed to consume, right? It is not designed to create wealth. And therefore, when you put someone
people
there,
in it
hold up.
also consume.
No. They are going to do it together in the free markets.
And this is why I wanted to bring us back to the topic at hand. 2M, you're not making bad points. However, they are not relevant to the topic, right?
Now
please answer. No.
You are
2M,
going
tell me
wrong.
how does housing allowance, hardship allowance, leave allowance, and sustenance allowance create excessive wealth? How?
People listen.
Medical allowance and life insurance.
How does that create excessive wealth?
People see beyond your noses, right?
Are you going to show us how?
Yes, I'm going to explain to you how.
Very well.
Right? You have a state, you have this thing called government, right? Underneath of it is a conveyor belt that money is running, okay? If this money is running and you have put someone there to look at, to procure services to people, people are going to get tempted to take this money. You have created such a huge dispensation.
I have not denied that your points are valid. I am just
questioning. So why are you saying they're not relevant?
I am questioning the
correlation to
this topic.
And I will bring us back to our criteria for breaking down the headlines. Are these headlines topical or are they speculative?
Speculative. These things are under review.
Are they repetitive or are they groundbreaking?
Those
and
ones,
are they thoughtful or lazy? No offense. Calling pay benefits to workers.
In fact, next time the state,
job,
what you should do
private,
is you should go and privatize, and then the next thing, what should they go and do?
Asking for them to be reviewed.
You can throw them.
That's okay.
I don't blame you, but it's a good thing that you're doing the state. And let me tell you, UHURU, you got an invoice, so I would not blame you. The next thing we should do is remove, what do women reps do, for goodness sake?
In fact,
you have 1,400 MCAs.
I'm not even going to give him the pleasure of responding to that.
You have over 700 nominated MCAs. You are just eating into the current expenditure of this country. In fact the wage bill of this country should be 35% of how much you collect. You cannot have 53% and expect to run a state.
Private sector employee, kindly wait for one moment to discuss your expanded wage bill.
Sorry, are we tossing this?
Definitely.
You can toss all of them if you want.
Definitely. However, I did want to mention that, speaking about the conveyor belt that is government money and the people, not all of them, who are unable to stop amassing wealth, the standard alluded to a financial officer from Nyandarua County, accounts being frozen because he was unable to hold himself, as stated by our 2M here. He just couldn't stop himself. But here is your article for the conveyor belt. Can you discuss your point under this headline? I think this is where it falls.
I've discussed it so many times.
How
and I've just said it.
MPs, MCAs are amassing riches.
And taking kickbacks from CDF.
Listen, I said this. This is not a moral issue. The reason we are corrupt as a country is because we have believed government is the all and be that they say every time serikali is idea. We have refused to think that the people who will get us out of our wealth problem is markets. Privatize government or parts of government, let government, what is government doing making cement?
Can I say something to you?
What does government think when it's making cement?
Can I just ask you a question? You know, the point of this media police
is it clever?
It's always clever.
Okay.
I try to make an assumption or assertion that I am not clever.
You can ask me.
I take very badly to that assertion.
I just asked you whether it's clever.
I have a question. We are a media police post, not an opinion pushing post. Yes?
No, I can't push my opinion.
I'm just asking questions. This is a yes or no question. Therefore, the point of this media police post is to verify gossip that is pandered by our media here. Do you think that, pray tell, you've fallen prey to something?
No.
No, listen.
No, so
okay, guys, I'm
gonna
have to take over the ship right now. I feel like we are getting disorganized and we've lost control of where we're going.
I just have one question for 2M and even for you, 2J. Here's the thing. No education is neutral. And no headline is also neutral. Do you think that these headlines, these negative headlines that we have been giving us, they're telling us something. They're meant to serve an interest. And the interest they're serving, perhaps is the one you're saying, but could be another interest. They want to prepare us for a reduced government.
which I don't think are opposed to.
And I agree.
And do you think that you are falling prey to that interest? You're pushing that agenda on this show.
Oh yes, I love it. I love it. Whoever is pushing that, if you're the owner of this headline, fantastic. We need to talk about less government.
And the thing is, I agree with 2M on that. I think we have an obese government.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. How many MCAs do we have? Like 1,000?
1,400.
Who do what?
You have 700 others who are nominated.
I agree. And if that's a predisposition we're being shifted towards,
fantastic.
I'm not opposed
Let's
to
have
it.
that discussion. The other time is just corruption.
The only thing I'd like to ask us, as this media police vote, as we toss this as well.
As we toss it, yes.
As we toss it.
So are you going to bring them back? You're saying you agree now? You want to toss it?
No, I told you very many times, your points were valid. They were just irrelevant to the topic at hand.
I know.
Topic at hand, valid. I agree with you. Are you happy?
You should have waited for your point to get to the right headline.
All right.
Okay, let's do those cartoons.
There is no winning headline in this particular episode, but on to our next segment, the political opinions that we call cartoons in this country. And just like the headlines, we have a 3-part criteria that we use to break them down for you. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Is the cartoon humorous or is it dry? Is it satirical or is it pessimistic? And is it effective or just plain lazy?
Daily Nation.
Daily Nation, huh?
Yeah. We have here a stage. And front and center on the stage, we have somebody who looks like DP Ruto shaking hands with somebody who looks like our president, UHURU Kenyatta. And behind the scenes is somebody who looks like...
worried,
concerned. Who's that? Yes, Raila Odinga.
Peeping, seeing a new handshake taking over. I
think we had lots of theories about what this cartoon...
What I can say is that, Monene, why are you a day late?
True.
Maybe $1 short? No.
I agree. This one we agree. This one.
Oh wait, but so we're not even going to...
Kuna.
All right.
He's a day late and $1 short. That was yesterday.
Very well.
This one.
Hold on. Might I suggest we look at the standard first?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Open it up.
Only because I feel like this is going to be tossed quite quickly. What do we have to M?
Is Wanjiku pondering to herself in front of a half-mast flag, say, we should fly our flag half-mast for the victims of hunger. That's what she's thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That now then instantly begs the question, should we fly the flag at half-mast for?
Couple of questions. We don't know, rather there is no confirmed number for how many people have died in Turkana.
Yeah.
And there have been denials across the board about how many people have died.
Right.
So if we start flying the flag half-mast, one, from the state's perspective, it will be an admission of guilt.
Fantastic.
About their inefficiencies and inadequacies.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it will be an admission of deaths.
Yes.
So I don't think the flag can fly.
Yes.
I'd also want to know if this is policy that they've had before. Do you typically fly a flag at half-mast when there are deaths related to
a country or whatever?
I don't know what policy is for flying the flag half-mast, but I think that whenever a country goes through something that would nationally be mournful, out of respect, we fly the flag half-mast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
sad though it to be, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So if we discuss the cartoon itself, I think it's lazy.
It's also very pessimistic.
Yeah, it is very pessimistic.
And sadly quite dry.
Yeah.
I'll do what the honors.
Thank you. Finally, the star.
Yep.
Close your eyes and trust me.
Today I don't agree with you.
It's not
no one said anything yet.
But let me put it
Who are you
into
disagreeing
context.
with?
I'm just asking. Wait.
How are you disagreeing and no one said anything?
Okay. So you want to say what the cartoon is about?
You say what the cartoon is about because you already started disagreeing.
I saw Titanic written. I'm like, what's this guy?
So here we have the SGR Titanic with lots of smoke going behind it. And in the famous Titanic pose, we have Ugandan president being held by the Kenyan president. And UHURU Kenyatta is saying, close your eyes and trust me. It is not loss-making. Okay, now...
Museveni is like in this full trust position. His eyes, his hands are all spread out. I'm flying.
You know, guys, I was telling you earlier, UHURU is doing the exact thing the Imperial British East African Company did in East Africa. from the blue economies of, they call it Madagascar or Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Yeah,
You didn't watch the 3 cartoons?
That one, all the way Mozambique to the green economy of Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, and to the Congo. All right? I think we have misread Uhuru. All these moves he's pulling in DRC and Rwanda and Uganda, there's something he is going with this. And I'm a big proponent of SGR. Something that can move from Mombasa to Nairobi in 4 hours and has been built in less than 3 years. Fantastic. I think it may take a little bit time to make some profit, but it makes sense. It makes sense removing 46% of cargo from our roads onto the rail. That makes sense.
So are we saying that it's fake news that the SGR is a loss-making?
What I find about this particular cartoon is that I find it exceedingly pessimistic.
Yes.
Any reference to Titanic gives me references of sinking.
Yeah.
That you're going to hit some iceberg and you're going to sink, and not only are you going to sink, there's going to be absolute loss from it.
Yes, I agree.
So I find it as a very pessimistic cartoon. He crossed over from satirical and landed deep in pessimism, and for that I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't know any railway in the world that has broken even in 5, 6, 7 years. Right? They probably take about 15, 20 years to make some profit. And who knows what this thing will do? This thing could be extended from Mombasa all the way to Banana in the Congo.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So what do we say about this particular cartoon?
Yeah, I think I would agree with what Tuem was trying to say in the beginning, that he disagrees. I would also disagree with the cartoon. I think it's pessimistic. I think it's an inaccurate reflection of what good the SGR has actually done for the country. So
absolutely. So we get it off.
But we do like Uhuru Kenyatta's foreign policy.
No, fantastic. And they say, Henry Kissinger.
Yes.
He says foreign policy starts where domestic policy ends. Or ends.
Kenya does not have domestic policy, but that's just my opinion. I do not believe that we're trying to. Then how can we have good foreign policy if we're going to use this?
It begins where it ends. It could
begin right here. If we're going by what I've said, that we have bad domestic policy, it means that our foreign policy is equally, if not worse. Okay. Equally bad, if not worse. But that's my opinion. Sorry.
Let's not get into absolute pessimism.
It's not absolute pessimism. I just think that if we're going to praise our country for something that we're not... Anyway.
No, I like Uhuru's moves in the region. Fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, today we have no winning cartoon either. But this is Winning Headlines. See you tomorrow.